guys, I'm S.Dan Wolf, and welcome back to Suyana Zoo, and we have got quite a bit to unpack in this episode. I was telling Beyond Drew, I'm like, man, I got to, I can't stop myself sometimes when I get on these really big flows, and he's like, man, what you need to do is, if you're on episode 3 and you build a bunch and you're ready to show it off, just save that map as episode 3, and then, you know, as you finish filming the video and you go on, then start saving it as episode 4 and etc. and etc. So I think that's what I'm going to have to do, because I was telling him I absolutely could not stop myself from building, and to not have to actually keep you guys here for an hour, I did go ahead and start chopping it up a little bit into a different save file, but that is kind of what led us to all this mischief. I did a little more work here on the actual kind of like the cave part. It's almost like I was telling some people on Bro Nation, I wanted to have different little caves and overpasses like this, not only to transition into different little exhibits. This is my little, you guys like my little makeshift bamboo construction wall here. I've got bringing in some new plants and doing some construction over here on that side, so I thought, how cool would that be to actually bring in bamboo construction walls? But anyways, what I was saying is not only to transition to different exhibits or different lands, but look, I put in these little stone seats, kind of, that kind of, you know, people can kind of get in here and get out of the shade, or get out of the sun, excuse me. And I was also going to see if I could hide some flat benches in here. I actually haven't tried it just yet. Probably put some more right there, but maybe we can make it, if I could hide them, and if it's close enough to the edge of the path, it'll actually look like the guests are sitting on our little stone blocks here. And I've tried to make it like this right here is the actual terrain, and then I've slightly lowered the rock work in just to kind of break it up just a little bit, and just kind of differentiate that the different layers of kind of like the tunnel as you're walking through. And then of course the vine, this is like this little piece right here. See if I can select it. This I actually combined two pieces. This is like one of my favorite new pieces out of the whole South America pack. Isn't that just a gorge? Like, I really wish, the only thing I was telling some people is I wish we had some more variations of this, you know, like maybe some straight pieces, maybe, you know, just like, even like if we could detach these smaller type vines right here, like the pieces of the bark that are going up, that would even be awesome. But I thought that just this whole little this thing's just having a moment right here, and I think it just worked out perfect with the little pieces of block that are kind of still there, kind of sticking into the ground. And then, you know, like we said, look at Woody's just majestic AF Aviary, Avery sitting out there. That's just really, really cool. Then we make our way through the tunnel, and the first thing you come up to is the orangutan exhibit. Now, I know I've kind of went heavy with the water on their exhibits, especially since technically they don't swim, they won't get in the water, they'll only go down to it to drink. But I still just thought, like, how cool would it be to have them a waterfall over here, just for like a pure stimulation standpoint. So, you know, when they're out here exploring at the edges of it, you know, kind of digging over here in the rocks, and, you know, I figured we could hide food and different things down here in the bushes for them. But they always have kind of like this commotion going on, and, you know, just like I said, just stimulation. With the kind of like their smaller little rainforest, you know, kind of like Borneo type waterfall. And this kind of worked out just like Jaguar Falls did, where I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier, but, you know, there is no water. It's just totally done with the VFX effects, and I think it just come out killer. So I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, well, mosquito mitigation is going to be very, very tough here. Here comes Big Joe and Little Joe. That's Big Joe. He's the daddy. There's Little Joe. And here's Carol, the mom. So we got Carol, Little Joe, Big Joe. And, kind of going back to a fantasy type build, this wall is definitely not, I've got a little drain pipe down here I used as like one of the little pots. And I figured that could help with like flooding and stuff if they're, if we ever get big rains here in the jungle and their little lagoon starts overflowing. But I know this isn't as realistic, like as low as this is, and like the orangutans could actually use this rock work to actually climb up on. But I just figured it looks so cool, we'll just go ahead and go with it. And let's see. Oh, I also have to give a shout out to. Let me see who did our little. Let me see who did our. I had some of these guys written down. Here it is. Did our kind of binoculars here. Xerius. Xerius. Yeah. And I thought those looked really, really cool. Kind of got them like stepped down just a little bit so you could kind of, you could stand here and get a real good view of the orangutan, especially if they're kind of farther off over here exploring, or if they're on the far side of the waterfall. And I just thought that was really, really cool, kind of just touch of detail there. But yeah, so that is kind of this part of the mischief I have been messing with. And then if you pull out, see they're on the other side of kind of like the treehouse village. So you've got this. I think what we'll say is you'll eventually have a central river that feeds all of these waterfalls that kind of essentially make their way into the zoo. So yeah, this is our new orangutan. Kind of like enclosure over here, still kind of adding in the elements of the temple and all that. But the biggest thing was to get try to get just like a really cool lower tiered believable waterfall in their exhibit over here. So then, yeah, like I said, eventually when we get maybe probably the next episode, we'll take down the construction walls. I've got Euro Ben's tractor right here, and I also got Fury 4's kind of like tractor, and I thought he did an awesome job on his too. He's even got a little bit of smoke coming out from the engine. But they're kind of over here getting wall pieces put in, digging out, I've got some trees still in their little pots and bags here, getting ready to be installed. But Woody, this is like this second part of the episode is basically Woody's episode, and look at his absolutely gorgeous Aviary here, Aviary. This is just, I don't know why do I always get Aviary and Avery mixed up? I've done that since like Planet Coaster. But he's got his macaws and his parrots in here. And I know what you guys are thinking. Would that not be awesome if we would have really gotten these guys in the South American pack? So hopefully that is something that is being worked on. But for right now, this is just like a gorgeous little spot right here for Woody's creation. And see, you can actually, I was thinking it'd be cool to kind of do like a Mike Sheets type area as well, and just have there's nothing here but a garden, and you can get back in here in the shade, and just kind of this split between the path will just be a big meandering kind of smaller garden that you can walk through. No animals, no buildings, no architecture, just totally just in the shade, kind of get off of the main path. And so that leads us into our next part. Really, really beautiful design as well by Woody. And all of this will be linked down below in the description. Woody's right here, and also his Himalayan bear exhibit I have converted into our chimpanzee exhibit. And I think this just came out totally killer. You've got Woody's tower and kind of his indoor area over here. I've got Chrono's kind of primate climbing structure. And yes, this is our little chimpanzee family. And also, too, what I've done with Woody's, the base part of his tower. Check this out. I haven't connected it to the path over there yet, but we've got an indoor section where you can come in make your way through this tunnel. And check this out. You could be right here up to the edge and watching our little chimpanzee family from really, really close up. And then, like I said, eventually when I get this, see, it dead ends right now, but you'll be able to actually make your way into the primate glass tunnel from right here, and that will kind of like all mysterious, kind of hidden. And if you keep going, you get here to right here where they're like laying around and playing at right here at the base of the waterfall. And yeah, I just thought it was really, really cool. I even have some more seats kind of built in right here. Kind of, I figured it'd be really, really cold, cool. They'd be pumping AC into this, and you could sit there and hang out with the chimps. And also, like when you're making your way from our main entrance here, that is kind of like, if you're making your way up through here, see, we've got some more benches. You can peel off to the right and make your way to the orangutans and kind of out further that way. But if you make your way, I know, albeit this is pretty steep, if you make your way up here to the top of this platform, you're essentially awarded with this top-down view of the chimp, the chimp enclosure, and kind of get to kind of look down on them and see what they're up to. And then, of course, you can make your way a little farther down. This is Michelle's little research center. I kind of connected that. I thought that just fit really well, kind of like a little offshoot of the village. Once you make your way up, and like we said, we've got research and a trade center, kind of just perfect little building to peel off there. And then you can make your way, of course, down here a little bit further, and you can watch the chimpanzees from the upper viewing platform. And we've got some more binoculars up here, 2 sets of binoculars to kind of look in on them. I left Woody's little fruits and stuff up here. I thought that was really cool to kind of leave that for the chimps. And our guy needs to get in here and clean that food up. And then, of course, another really cool thing that I've used I used it in Pine Creek as well, was Cheshire Cats, kind of like African-style toilets. So maybe coaster designer and them won't bust me on not having any toilets in the zoo. And so, yeah, then we will just kind of, still kind of coming up with some ideas to kind of bust out this way. But I want to keep everything, like we said, in the vein of the jungle. So there's going to be a lot of underpasses like this, really a lot of shaded spaces, a lot of tight spaces. And then too, I've got to do a little more work on this. I was thinking, since we did it for the chimpanzees, while we have this nocturnal house right here, look, I was thinking maybe busting some of this out and doing some a glass enclosure right here. Look, you could be standing right here looking in on Carol, right from the back side of the path there as well. And kind of looking back this way, you can see the Woody's big tower and the aviary over here, the Aviary, and then going back into the tunnel that way. But see all the little seats I have set up. And but yeah, so that is kind of what we've been having going on, guys. I haven't really messed with the river or the waterfall over here yet or anymore. I think I've kind of got Jaguar Falls kind of pretty much how I like it. I'm kind of finished messing with that now. My buddy William said the only thing about this tree right here is it blocks the water collection hut there. But we'll still do some more work on that. And like a lot of you guys said, you still want to see the tree houses, the treehouse village, kind of be more developed on as well, and may try to figure out a way. Actually, wouldn't that be cool if we could figure out a path system to maybe get the guests up there as well? So that is something else, we'll just kind of putt and meander along about, and like I said, get some more of this construction done and get some more started. I don't even know what I'm going to start on next, but it's like I was telling, like Beyond Drew and I were talking, I kind of needed to stop and at least try to get an episode out. And but yeah, so then like I said, we'll just keep rolling on with this, and don't forget to let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think about all of this weirdness that we are into now. And big shout out to all the creators for putting these gorgeous blueprints on the workshop for me to grab up and be able to just use and help tell the story here of Suyana Zoo. And yeah, that's it. That's all I've got for you this time, guys. Let me know if you end up liking episode 3. And don't forget to subscribe to keep up with some more Planet Zoo videos, and be on the lookout for episode 4. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you. See ya.